hello, my friends. It is I, Alphinius Goo, on a spooktacular morning. Yes, as we get ready for you know what I'm talking about. All Hallows Eve. You know, this Halloween thing that everybody does. Yes, Alfabio, he sent me a little gift. I've never seen a pink pumpkin before. Yes, just like him. Anyway, Camera Mandy's behind the camera. Say hello, Camera Mandy.
Hold on, I'll get in front of the camera.
Oh, she's got to get in front of the camera because she's wearing a totally cool costume.
Hi.
Look at that. That is amazing. Look at that hat. Show the top, right?
There we go.
There you go.
It's a cemetery on top of the hat.
Yes.
And I'm wearing a dark faux leather jacket, and I'm coming as the Reaper of Souls.
Reaper of Souls.
Yes.
The Creeper of Souls. Yes, this is
exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, happy Halloween weekend to all of you. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. And thank you for joining us on Goo Morning Zyathé, the show that is far better than Saturday morning cartoons, unless you're 5. In which case, Saturday morning cartoons are probably better.
I've heard that Saturday morning cartoons may not be a thing anymore.
There's a few of them still, but it is definitely not what. Well, you know, with the streaming services and all of this stuff, you know, it's just not quite the same. You know,
exactly.
When we were young, remember He-Man? Actually, I was kind of old when He-Man was out. I sort of remember things like Super Chicken.
Super Chicken.
You know about Super Chicken?
I don't. What is Super
When
Chicken?
It looks like you're in danger, when you're threatened by a stranger, when it seems as you will take a licking, bark, 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 bark. There is someone waiting who will hurry up and rescue you. Just call for Super Chicken.
I applauded at the wrong point. I'm sorry. That was beautiful.
Longer. He will drink his super sauce and throw the bad guys for a loss, and he will bring them in alive and kicking. Bark, 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 bark. There is one thing you should learn, when there is no one else to turn to. Call for Super Chicken. Bark, 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 bark. Call for Super Chicken. Bark, bark.
How can anyone think that we're not as entertaining as Saturday morning cartoons?
How can anyone think that I would remember that?
I love
Cheers, friends. Good morning. For all of you who remembered Super Chicken, I hope that was a wonderful thing. For the few of you who have, you know, dust flying out of your ears.
So funny. It was brilliant. I have to say, I think that was probably one of my favorite things we've ever done on Goo Morning.
Well, listen, I'm pretty excited because the social media was fantastic this whole week. You know, all kind of things are going up. And I put this up. So Michelle posted this, and then so this one came from Michelle right here, Camera Mandy, right?
Yes.
And then we had another one posted, which I think is right there too.
On the next one?
Yes. And this was posted by Jim. And so this was kind of a thing. We were talking about it, right? And I went to our resident aficionado of dice, right? Who's the most aficionados, even though we have a few others, was Scott, right? And I said, Scott, so tell me about these. Are you into these things? And he says, well, some of the dice groups that I am in have talked about them, and many of us are concerned they're going to be kind of flimsy and weak, right? But apparently there was some artist who made a set of dice that came into, turned into dragons some years back. So I've asked Scott to post some images of that. But anyway, it's curious, this diceling things. We'll see how they end up being. We're little transformers, right?
I am very curious.
Have you seen them?
Well.
Did you see
I
them?
had not seen them. These are new. But speaking of Jim, I actually have a surprise for you.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Okay, and I was supposed to do this last week, but last week was kind of chaotic, and I forgot. So, don't get excited when you look at this. This was the only bag I had, so the two things are on the top of it.
Okay, I'm going to put it to the side so it's not, well, I'll just do it like this.
Yes, so...
So I'm supposed to open it?
Yes. This is from Jim Gladding.
Jim! You're marvelous, my friend. Well, is that not magnificent?
And there's one other thing in there.
Yes, a little Gooey Cube. Yes, it's magnificent. Right, I'm pulling out. So, wait a minute, Camera Mandy, why did you put, like, okay, there's all kind of stuff in here.
Yeah, I just stuffed the bottom of it.
Oh, I see.
Because I didn't have a smaller bag.
Oh, and a Gooey
coaster.
Cube coaster.
Yes.
That's
Isn't that
fantastic. Jim, you are magnificent. Thank you. I will use it for my coffee cup. Yes, which has scotch in it.
So I just think that if people start sending you like more gifts, I'll just keep putting them in the same bag.
Well,
it'll be the loot bag.
Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that.
The magnificent loot bag, or like a.
Here, I thought it was some huge thing, like a dragon or something.
I know.
Like
that's
that,
why I said don't get excited about the size.
I was excited.
Just get excited
anyway.
about the beautiful creations.
Well, you know, when you look at the desk, you know, you've got all these wonderful gooey cubes everywhere. You know, this is all over the place.
I know.
So.
I'm gonna have Abby do a TikTok of all the different gooey cubes in the office.
Yeah,
It'll be super
William
fun.
gave us that one, right?
Yes.
Carrie gave us the one that they're sitting on top of, and of course, Marvelous Christina was the first one to make these. I think this was Christina here who made this one. Is that Gooby? Is that Gooby? I think that's Gooby.
Gooby, or I have one over here
or
as well.
Goober. There's Gooby and Goober, right? There's both of them. So
We have it documented somewhere. Anyway.
Christina, I don't remember which one is Gooby and which one is Goober. It's like forgetting your children's names. It's a terrible thing. Yeah. And then Camera Mandy put this damn thing on the desk, right? Like I'm gonna wear it. Like it would fit my enormous cranium.
It's a decoration.
Yeah. Look, Camera Mandy, this would not even fit my enormous cranium.
No, it's not a hat that you wear. It is merely a decoration.
All right.
I thought you could use some hat decor to liven up your.
Yes, hat decor.
Yeah, exactly.
Little skeleton hands with eyeballs. Yes, this is a magnificent little Halloween decoration thing.
Thank you. I took them all from my house and brought them over here. So.
Anyway, so this was fantastic, right? So Scott put this up, speaking of Scott, the dice guy, right? And all of a sudden we're looking at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, we've definitely arrived at us being these gamer types, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're getting a costume, you're kind of like Spider-Man or Wonder Woman, right? You're kind of like, Batman,
You do know that
Catwoman,
this isn't a real costume, yes?
Well, it looked like it to me.
No, this is a meme thing that's going around. So, like, I sent one to my family.
I totally thought it was real. Oh, my heart is broken right now, Camera Mandy.
I don't think you did.
You have dashed my dreams.
I think you're being sarcastic.
I thought we were there. We had arrived.
We have arrived. Are you kidding me?
Look at that! It's magnificent. It is so gamer. Anyway, it's fantastic, Scott. Whether it's fake, real, I don't care. It's magnificent.
I agree.
Chuckle this morning.
I totally agree. I love it.
All right, let us continue.
Oh, God. Okay, so
we have a great show today, by the way, friends. Oh, yes, there's this thing. Yes, I should have never put this up. Now everyone wants it for an adventure.
Not everyone. There are a few dissenters. If Keith Garrigan is in the chat here, he hurt my feelings.
Keith, you wait to stay on the side of the right. Yes, we don't need to all wear hats to be wizards.
No.
Yes.
The harsh thing was because Lydia was like, "Look at this." Lydia's like, "Oh, this is for level 6 to 8 because you need some like beef to go and be with Mandy." And then Keith goes, "This should be a level 0 or a session 0." Session 0.
And I said, "Yes, it should be a session 0, as in not happening." But it is, Camera Mandy, you have to admit, it's a good cover, yes? It looks magnificent, yes?
Well, I mean, I'm a little partial to it.
I had fun. It was marvelous to make it.
I did not even ask him or give him this idea. He just posted it, and I was like, this just feels right, so.
All right, what's up there right now because the TV's glitching, so.
It's just me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we're having a twitchy, cursed morning today in the studio.
Spooky. The ghost is in the machine. Yes, magnificent. All right, let's go next. What's next?
Next up is...
Oh, this is so good. So if it doesn't glitch, well, a corpse is a corpse, of course, and no one can talk to a corpse, of course, unless, of course, you cast a spell on the corpse, then you speak with dead. Go right to the corpse and speak with force. You'll get the answer that in due course with the war... I didn't realize it had Warlocky in there. With the Warlocky endorsed spell of speak with dead. And so anyway, I won't go all the way through it and destroy you all because I'm not the greatest singer in the world. But this was posted by Andrew. I think he wrote it. Who
needs to be a great singer when you have the charisma of Alphinius Goo?
Yes.
But now if Alfabio was here...
This guy got the
charisma. If Alfabio was here, he would be singing...
Darling,
yes.
Darling. Anyway, Andrew, fantastic. Unbelievable. Reminded me of Mr. Ed. Lots of people put it up there. And if you're under 40, you probably don't know what the heck we're talking about. Look up Mr. Ed in the Google machine. Yes, see what that is. If you're older than that, this might give you a laugh because this is pretty funny. Well played, Andrew.
It was excellent. And I feel like it has a new life because there's been shows that have parodied it, like Parks and Recreation. So
Mr. Ed has come back to be. Yes, very nice.
Yeah, there's been a few shows that have done it. Okay.
What's next? Oh, yes. So our marvelous Carrie made this fun little thing, right? It's a little sort of retro gamey thing. And what is it? RPG something or other? What's it called, Camera Mandy?
I don't know the name of the program.
There's a little program. Anyway, it's really cute. And Camera Mandy then took it and made a video out of it. And so our two marvelous ladies made this magnificent little thing that that is, it's definitely probably worth a watch.
It's so adorable.
It's pretty cute, and it's a little funny. It's got some humor, yes, and of course, me, they got to make fun of me, everything is at my expense, cameraman D.
It wasn't at your expense. We were just talking about Magica. Have you seen next week's episode yet?
Oh, next week's episode I have not. Carrie has
Oh.
showed me.
Well,
So I guess we're going to do this. This is going to be a thing. We're going to do this for a while, right? See what people think about it.
We're going to, next week, there's I'm just going to give you a little hint. There's some combat.
Ha! 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 Ha!
Yeah, exactly.
Right, very good. What is next, cameraman D?
Okay, next up, we have a new,
Harry,
is that the Thu'ul?
Harry.
Nice.
Harry. I must tell you, my friend, I am astounded. Because, in East Verdestia was the first time that the Thu'ul ever showed their face for what they really were, right? Even though we'd put them on social media before, yes. And then we put them into Shadows in Genzicon. But this magnificent sculpt of a Thu'ul advisor, yes, magnificent. Harry, I must give you props. Not only that, Harry has reviewed the entire Magica book and sent us typographical error things. Apparently he was on a plane. Did you know this?
I appreciated this so much. And also, Blade Zeus says, Harry is almost as awesome as Alphinius, and I will stipulate that I think
Harry
he is more awesome.
Yes, I agree completely. Yes. Like, all of you are more awesome. This is the thing, right? It is the community that makes Gooey Cube special. It is all of you, right? It is magnificent. And I'm excited because we're doing the next contributors round, which we'll talk about in a minute. And it's exploring the Zyanthuus for the first time. I talked to Jim, and Jim was all excited. He's already put his submission in, so it's wonderful. Anyway, Harry, thank you. This is I just look at it and I'm like, dang.
We should have
look at them.
I mean, if he does all of the different, we could have a whole series of Thu'ul.
Oh, yes. And if you've never read in East Verdestia, The Ritual of Devouring, The Rite of Devouring, yes, it is it is definitely creepy.
That sounds very intense.
Yes, the tale of this, right, is because we're not able to do a somewhat similar monster that was inspired, right? It was inspired. We can't do that because of the SRD, and so yours truly thought long and hard about how could we do something that would be at least as marvelous, and honestly, in my opinion. These Thu'ul are maybe a little more marvelous than the monster I am speaking of. So anyway, I'm really excited to have the Thu'ul play their part in the world of Zyathé, because they are some of the biggest and baddest of the big bads that your players will probably encounter over time. Thank goodness they breed at very low rates, or else it could be a real problem.
So we have a question from the chat.
Yes.
This is from the Adept 024.
All right.
Actually, it's 024, but Okay, anyway. Does he make and sell the STLs?
So when we launch the new website, which is coming, we are hoping by November 15th. It is magnificent, by the way. Stephen, Alexander, Riley, Noah, Kerry, of course, helping with content, AJ helping with content, Camera Mandy and all the videos and things that we're putting on there, right? Hopefully, this little team that we have. Am I missing anybody, Camera Mandy? I'm not missing anybody.
Hannah.
Obviously, Mel is helping with advising and all of that kind of stuff, and helping make sure we got all of our shipping stuff together and all of that stuff. It is so beautiful. And it's much easier to navigate. It feels almost like sort of a video gamer website. It's got wonderful imagery. Our artwork is all over the place on there. It's going to, as we continue to progress, it's going to have a fan fiction area with a sort of a forum thing that we're going to be able to do. And this goes into all the revamping we're doing, including the revamping of our Discord and all kinds of stuff. So I'm really excited. When we do this, we are also sending out to a few mini painters. We're sending out some of Harry's minis, or all of them actually, and having them painted professionally. So you'll be able to see the STL rendering. You'll be able to see an actual picture of a printed mini, right, which will probably be primed. Because when you just show a plain old printed mini that comes off the thing, you can't really always see the incredible detail that you get. And so we're going to probably do a STL rendering like this is. That's what Harry has here. Then a primed miniature that has been printed, and then a painted version. And I'm very excited because Harry's minis are fantastic, and Harry has been wonderful and really helped contribute to this community in so many wonderful ways. So Harry,
Absolutely.
you are more
Cheers.
magnificent by a long stretch. Let us continue on.
Also, I'm just going to say we have a comment from Angry Toaster Gaming. I feel like I should help break the new website, really stress test it.
Yes, you should.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, there's another thing that we're doing. You all remember that David kind of inspired us to begin this path to creating this magnificent.
Here, I'm going to put
map,
this. I'm going to
right?
put this up while we're talking about the map.
Oh, this,
and then we'll talk about this.
So this is Jonathan, and we met Jonathan at SuperCon, and where Ms. Goo and I went. Remember on our little jaunt where she tried to stick her finger up my nose in the middle of a picture.
I feel like there was more things that happened than just that one thing.
Yes,
yeah.
Whatever. You know, she's so impertinent and tiny. She's so tiny and impertinent.
I mean, if you were married to you.
You'd be impertinent too.
Look, you have Diane, I have Adam, and it is funny that we have like perfect complementary people to our personalities.
Yes,
the patience of gods.
Patience of gods.
So
anyway, so Jonathan, he really liked our stuff, and I loved what Jonathan was doing, and a woodworker, magnificent woodworker. And all kinds of weapons and interesting things, and we went over and looked at each other's stuff. Anyway, Jonathan bought some of our materials, and we bought this magnificent artwork that he is making, which is the World of Zyathé map done in 3 dimensions on wood. And so that wonderful rendering you're seeing right there is what he's doing. And it is just wonderful. Jonathan, I hope you're watching today. I told you to watch because we were going to talk about it. I hope you did. And it is spectacular. And you can see, this is just a computer rendering. You know, now we're going to get down to brass tacks. But goodness, Mandy, it's got to hang in here somewhere. We got to
I have a spot right on the wall behind the GM.
Behind the GM?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Once the studio is finished, it'll be perfect.
And that's some new things that are coming too. We got lots of things to announce as we continue to go forward. And thank you all for your marvelous support. Really, it couldn't be done without you. Let us continue on.
But so I brought up the map because you were talking about the map section of the website.
Oh, that's right. So David, thank you for reminding me. So David inspired us to kind of go down the road. And so we are looking very seriously about an interactive map that is not just going to be controlled by us, but actually potentially even controlled by the community, and having the opportunity for people to add to specific locations and things like that, to put in non-canonical lore. It won't be canonical until it gets blessed. So we have to figure out how we do the canonical versus non-canonical thing, because that if you aren't careful, you all know this. This is why I talk about this all the time, how important it is that people live in the spirit of Zyathé, right? The spirit of Zyathé means that there are certain principles, foundational principles that have been built upon the world, right? It is not a super fantastical, crazy magic is everywhere world, right? It is a broken world that magic is weird, right? Magic is weird, right? That's the idea. And our goal, right, is to not have it migrate to something else, right? We have a lot of those kind of principles, and so we've got to figure out a process for that. But we're very excited. David's going to help us a little bit with this, and so are Riley and Alexander, and we're excited about that. We also have another thing coming with Belinda and Anthony and
this is the Bards group.
Gail Singer, yes, and a couple of other folks where we're going to start this Bards group. I've been holding them off because we've just been so busy trying to get Magica and Chapter 5, which is getting close, out, and of course Witch's Wrath, but we're getting to start this Bards group where we're going to put some of the songs that yours truly has written and that others have enjoyed to write and try to build.
I would love to see Devin produce music.
I know, it's in my mind. He would be a wonderful bard of Zyathé, yes, would he not? And so,
absolutely. Beautiful
voice. You know, Devin is my oldest son, and he loves what we're doing. And sometimes you see him pop in the chat and all of that stuff. And he and Angela, marvelous Angela, gave us 3 little grandy dudes, and we love them dearly. And we're going to see them actually today, Camera Mandy. I don't know if you know that, but they're coming over, so we're excited about that. In fact, I got to do portraits of all the little grandy kids. So,
what? I haven't seen those.
I haven't done them yet.
Oh, okay.
They're in my mind.
Sounds good.
Yes, all right, let's continue.
Okay, so this is amazing from Mark. By the way, I am loving all the terrain and dungeon posts that we're getting.
Listen, Mark and Todd have been in particular,
and
right?
Paul.
And Paul. Oh, Paul, I should have put up Paul's too, right? Oh, no, I did put up Paul. Did I put up Paul's?
Let's see here. You have Mark and Todd. I don't see Paul.
Dang it!
But I've shown a lot of Pauls on the
we
on the
have
show.
Done Paul before.
Yeah.
So yes, of course. Those three in particular have put up just some amazing builds. And if you have a chance and you get a chance to look in the Gooey Den and see these builds, and yours truly is going to be taking some pictures today because my new my group that we're doing on Saturdays is now progressing into a certain dangerous place. I won't speak very much about it because some of them may be watching. But yes, it is a most intriguing thing that they will be experiencing today. So the tale is quite an interesting one, and I think they are enjoying it, and we will see what we will see come today. This is a dangerous time.
We gotta.
They are low level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they? What are they playing?
They are but first level characters right now.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And they are going into a fearful locality. And we shall see what we shall see, Cameramandy. All right, what's next?
Okay, and before the end of this, I need to pull up a graphic to talk about our Kickstarter thing that we're doing.
Oh, yes.
That has to do with dungeons. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Because I don't see a post in here for that. So I'm going to go that.
I should have put that in there. Yeah, pull up the graphic. And am I vamping for time right now?
No. Let's just go through the rest of this.
I can't see what's on right now.
Oh, right now it's Dicelings again.
Oh yeah, the Dicelings. Why
do I have two Dicelings? Yeah,
because I gave you two.
Okay, now this next one is me yesterday after my photo shoot.
Oh yes, yes. I had to sanitize the desk after your feet had been all over it, Cameramandy. I don't even understand.
You did not even sanitize it.
No, I didn't. Oh my God, germs everywhere.
I was so exhausted. So yesterday we did a bunch of photo shoots for our website. So basically we're doing lay flats. I also shot a behind the scenes video in case anyone's interested in seeing lighting and stuff like that for product photo shoots. So it was like 6 hours, and I was like up and down these steps
and
all day.
Allie was helping you, right?
Yeah,
so
Allie.
Thank you, Allie, so much. Very much.
Allie's a cake maker. She's the one who made like the Gooey Cube cake, and she has so much patience. And I can't express this enough. When you are doing photo shoots, or you are doing dungeon terrain, or you are doing anything, you need those patient people to actually like.
Yes, this is disturbing right here. I have no idea where those shoes have been, Cameramandy.
Oh, all over the place. Those have been to Disney World.
Now listen, you wanted to do this thing at Christmas we were talking about in the holiday time frame. Yes, what were you talking about? We had a secret.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I have brought up the idea of this, which is basically we were contacted by Game to Grow to do another fundraiser for them for the end of the year, and I'm getting the details of what the fundraiser is right now. But we are looking into doing an end of the year Winter's Dance themed 3 to 4 hour adventure streamed
with all the things and the different groups and the teams online and all of that craziness again, right?
Yes.
But it will probably be themed in the holiday spirit, if you will. We'll probably dance that dance a little bit, see if people like it. So if you like that idea, give us some props in the chat and let us know if that sounds good to you. We'll try to do it over the Christmas holiday time frame, right? That area where people get off school and work and all of that kind of stuff, so that it is relatively convenient. And as always, we'll give away a bunch of prizes. In fact, I got to tell you, Cameramandy.
Yes.
Ms. Goo and I have been doing work at the old House of Goo, getting all of my terrain and materials and miniatures and all of this stuff organized. And if we do something for Game to Grow, I'm going to make a really nice donation of not just money, because Ms. Goo and I do that all the time, you know that. But I'm going to take some really cool miniatures and some other things, and I'm going to put it into this stream for giveaway that I think people will be astounded at a couple of things that they might end up with. So, you know, this old man been collecting for 40 years, right? And so there's a lot of things that are in the old boxes that I'm like, holy moly, I forgot about this.
Of course.
You know, so anyway, it's been very interesting, and we're only about a third of the way done, so we got a lot of work to do.
Well,
so,
I'm proud of you for getting your life organized.
Whatever, Cameramandy, it's not me, it's Ms. Goo.
Oh, well, of course.
And Kevin put this up, and I looked at it. See, this is why I love these images that you all do, right? This is just magnificent, because what I saw was the vile desolation. I saw them coming towards the river. Yes, both north and south, and coming across to invade Magdrunog and the Republic, which I know is in the mind of Kalnavik. Tell the truth, Alexander, if you're watching. I know it's in your mind. You vile you. Anyway, Kevin, magnificent. I loved it. I appreciate all these posts And I know lots of other people do too, because I've gotten comments on it, how cool our wall is and how inspiring it is. And so thank you all for doing these wonderful inspirational things that bring to other people ideas and thoughts for their games. What's next, cameraman?
Okay, yeah, we got to
We're
wrap
almost
up.
done.
Yeah, we got to wrap up here. Okay.
I think this is Keith, right? Is someone from Keith?
Let's see here.
I can't see it.
It's Sean Van Arsdale.
Oh, Sean did this. This is so cute. This is a 5-year-old Dungeon Master thing, and you have to read it. I'm not going to read it for you. Check it out on social media. It spawned a lot of comments and a lot of people saying this is the coolest thing ever. And then somebody else put up this dragon spider. I can't remember who put that up. Doggone it, I should remember. Anyway, it's wonderful. It's just very, very fun and a marvelous monster that is kind of freaky.
I love it.
And now, is this Keith?
Let's see here.
I think that Keith was the last one, right?
I have 3 more.
Oh, 3 more. Okay, good. So you have to. Oh, I'm unglitching now, so I can see it again. Yes, this is Keith right here. Is this not beautiful? Keith said he should have waited till November, but this is just beautiful, right? And fairy-like and really just. I'm looking at it right now. That's why I'm not looking at the screen. Just so dreamy, And again, this is the wonder of magnificent artworks. It's just beautiful. I have a feeling this might have been. This might have actually been an AI, but I'm not sure. It's pretty intricate for an AI.
It's a whole fantasy world. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really magnificent. Yes, anyway, continue.
Oh, I just accidentally exited out of one of them. Okay.
Oh, and Kevin put this up, and I was blown away. This is made out of a single redwood log, right? One log, and took 3 people 3 years to finish it. But look at that thing. That is just... I mean, Cameramandy, you're looking at that and you're going, what talent, what incredible talent. I'm just in awe of it right now. Thank you for putting that up, Kevin. Indeed. What's next, Cameramandy?
Okay, so this is the Tomb of Gyzangax.
This is the last one, yes?
and then we have to talk about the Kickstarter.
Yes, so this is the beginnings of the collaboration between Luke and I. I'm actually going to fly out and see him in Los Angeles. I'm not sure what date, but sometime in November. And we are very excited about this. This is going to be offered at GaryCon, but we're also considering the possibility of kickstarting it. Luke and I are talking about that right now. And that way we can get it in people's hands. Obviously, in a Kickstarter environment, we can offer it for a little lower price. There's just a lot of wonderful things that come with a Kickstarter, and we can add some other things to it. We can make it larger. We can really expand it. And I think people will be excited for it. And so this is something we may make a real fast move on and put it up on Kickstarter. So I think a lot of people are excited for it. It'll have tons of Easter eggs and odes to Gary, God rest his soul, and really have a lot of fun, especially for those of us who've been around for a while. But Gary's adventures are still out there. They're all over the place. So even if you're young, you've probably experienced some of these things: the White Plume Mountain, the Tomb of Horrors, right? The various underdark things that were going on with the vaults of the Drow and all of these magnificent against the Giant series and all of these that Gary authored. And so we're hoping to bring that, all right? And so this is the art. So tell a little bit about it, Cameramandy, while I take a sip, because I'm getting a little dry in the mouth.
Sorry I was quiet for so long. I was trying to actually get these graphics.
No, you did great.
Yeah,
it's my fault. I should have pulled them. I'm being a goof.
So basically, we are going to be part of this Kickstarter that is currently live. It's for the Tremendous Tome of Epic Dungeons, and it's going to feature the photography and the layout of the Dungeon of Doonix.
Yes.
And so it is currently funded, I believe. I think that.
Oh yes, they're doing great.
Yeah,
they're doing great. In fact, I think they have unlocked our add-on.
Oh, did they?
Yes, I think they did. So we talked with the folks there, and we are excited to bring an add-on to that, which is the Dungeon of Doonix. And so we are going to make another adventure. And don't worry, my friends, we are still battling through all the things that we still owe to get done, and we are getting them done. But some of these things, when they come up, we've got to do it because of the opportunities that they present for our little company to make a little money, right?
And to reach a different audience.
Yes.
And so we can keep doing this.
Yes. So do not fear, looking at production timelines and all of that stuff. I already know where we are, the biggest holdup on the Gloom port, which is why those of you who are working on the Gloom port and wondering how come Alphinius isn't pushing harder is because I know where we are on the maps and how long they take. And the maps are really going to be the biggest thing that's going to slow us down on the Gloom port. But there's the picture of a temporary cover that we want to talk about for the Dungeon of Nyx. And so this marvelous TJ who did this, and I love the image. Anyway, we are excited to bring this as an add-on. We'll see how people respond to it. Lots of folks, I think, are going to be excited about this this magnificent tome that is being produced, and we are very excited. If you get a chance, check it out on Kickstarter. It's not an outrageously large expense, and it might be worth giving a little back. Anyway, my friends.
Yeah.
Onward. Yeah.
So please definitely go check this out. And I wanted to mention that the Dungeon of Nyx with this is going to be limited edition.
It will be, yes, absolutely. It'll be a limited edition, and I think, are we autographing them? I think we're actually autographing these that are done with this. We will still offer the Dungeon of Nyx in the future, but similar to the Shadows and Genzicon, there will be some special things in here that will not be in the actual finished product that goes out versus the limited edition. So it will be collectible, and I'm a collector, right? So I've got a real heart for these things, and I understand, how much they can go up in value over time. Right now, of course, anything that's signed by Alphinius, as I tell you all the time, it's worth absolutely nothing, but you never know. So we're pretty stoked about this. Now, should we talk about our giveaway today, Camera Mendy?
Yeah, I actually just opened the giveaway.
All right.
So it's #Wrath with a capital W.
#Wrath with a capital
on
W.
Twitch.
On Twitch. Now make sure that you have also filled out the gooeycube.com/prizes form, gooeycube.com/prizes, because that is how we get prizes to people, right? So please make sure you've done that. And it's #WRATH. Now, Camera Mandy doesn't know this, but we're going to do a second giveaway in a little bit, so she's got time to set it up, right? This is a print of the fake cover
my God.
Queen of the Hatters,
Nobody.
signed by Alphinius and Camera Mendy. Yes, Camera Mendy and Alphinius are going to sign that, so we're going to do that giveaway in a little bit. So right now you can win a digital copy of The Witch's Wrath, #WRATH.
Oh, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm sorry. So we actually have to take this back because you had mentioned something about signed. I thought you meant signed Witch's Wrath. So we're actually going to be giving away.
Oh, no, then we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah,
That's
we are
fine.
going to be
we're giving away a signed
signed
copy of The Witch's Wrath. Okay, so we're doing that because Camera Mandy said that. And then, and if you already have The Witch's Wrath, it doesn't matter because this one's actually going to be autographed and it's really highly collectible.
Play with your other one.
20
collect this one.
Yes, collect this one. Play with your other one.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
Yes. And those of you who have not seen it, if you've not gotten your email, check out that offer that we put out there. So you save $10 on Magicka, which is almost the price that you would have gotten at the Kickstarter level if you backed us in the Kickstarter. And then you get the Witch's Wrath, and if you buy both of them in the bundle, you get the signed Dark Tides Night printed version, which we've never done before, for free, right? So this is magnificent. And for those of you who said, well, dang it, I already bought Magicka in the Kickstarter, or I already bought the Witch's Wrath, or whatever, don't worry, because we sent you a special email so that you could still get the deal on the Dark Tides Night, still get that for free. And even those of you out there in the Kickstarter world who got both, and there was like 30 of you who did that, we sent you an email to give you Dark Tides Night for free as a thank you for backing us. So everyone got a deal in their email. Make sure you check it because this is a fun little thing that we're doing, and we're getting some good responses, and people are taking advantage of it. And you help out the old Gooey Cube a little bit with a little cash here as we come into the holidays. I'm also telling you, as we launch the new website, we're going to do a nice sale for the holiday time frame. For all you Hanukkah gift givers and Kwanzaa gift givers, Winter's Dance gift givers, Christmas gift givers, and Christmas gift givers, and anything else I missed. I hope I didn't miss anything. But in all of you gift givers, we're hoping that you'll think about your players for like copies of Magicka or East and West Verdestia. We're hoping that you'll think about your game masters who are playing in the world of Zyathé. Maybe you'll get them map set or something like that they haven't gotten yet. And we're going to give away we're going to let you choose free gifts as part of this sale. There's a bunch of things coming when we launch the new website as we move into the holiday. So we hope you all will help us with that. Okay, Cameramandy, what's next?
Book club.
Ah.
So let's go to our...
Yes, I must put on my funky glasses.
Also, just a note about book club. We compiled, well, when I say we, I compiled,
Yes, you did it all. Yes, you did
all
it all.
of the chapter 1 Ventenium Alanax book clubs into one video and posted on YouTube. And I tried to take out some of the chatter, the Goo Morning Zyathé chatter, because I know we get off topic and
what?
With flies,
Cameramandy, are you saying
with all
flies, yes,
with all sorts of different things?
Yes,
so,
flatulence problems, all manner of stuff. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I try to take all that out so that way people could just enjoy listening to us talk about lore. And yeah, it's like 2 hours of us.
Cameramandy, I got to tell you, I'm looking at the screen. You look great. I mean,
Thank
you look great. This is a great costume. It's really, I wish everybody could see the whole deal, but yeah, you look magnificent.
I actually put like some effort in today to like try and spooky it up a little bit.
Yes,
so,
very good. I hope everybody in the chat likes it. Give her props or claps or whatever you do in the chat, or snarky comments, you know, like, goodness, you're so spectacular.
Spooktacular.
Yeah, something
it's
like
not
that.
Very
yes.
original. Oh, I also I sent you
Spooktractive.
FYI, I sent you an email last week with all of the names for the Twitter or the TikTok. The TikTok, you were supposed to pick a winner and you never did.
Oh, I didn't do that, did I? Next week. Because don't we have egg embry next week too?
Yeah, we do have egg next week. So
the egg of Kruut. Yes, we are. Egg is another one that I'm going to work with a little bit on this little adventure in the Vendraxian tundra.
Ooh.
Yes, magnificent.
Very nice.
Yes, we are excited about.
So our winner of last week's. I don't even know. I can't even remember if we said what it was going to be. Was it going to be I'll have to look back and see what the prize was.
You'll have to look back and make sure, but let us check it. I mean, we do get a lot of giveaways. I hope you all appreciate that.
Yeah, and
never again will we do this Alfabio crap.
That's not true.
Yes,
that's
whatever.
not true. And we actually sent out a bunch this week as well. We sent out a bunch of prizes.
Bunch of prizes.
They take a second to get printed, and then once they get
and remember that, folks. You know, especially on this the pre-ordering of the Magica, right? Witch's Wrath is almost printed and all that stuff, but. For Magica, we got to go to the first printer, and that's Alex, who does such a wonderful job for us and is a partner in Gooey Cube. And then they print all of the inside stuff. Then we have to ship that up to Denver, where it gets put, this marvelous little bindery up there, family-owned business, marvelous little group, and they put the cover on it and all of that stuff, and it's all back and forth, and it takes time. And honestly, you know, thank you for those of you who have given us memos and emails about little typos and adjustments we might consider.
Yes.
We're making most of those. A couple of them were not being made because we had a different intent. But for the most part, thank you. Like I said, Harry, you in particular have given us the most, so we appreciate it. All right, book club.
Okay, so last week we discussed this. We started discussing Flowstones, but then we especially discussed Sarth.
Yes.
And their.
And why the creation of why they're insensitive to arcane magic and how that happened and all that stuff. But we're going to get a little more into Flowstones directly right now.
And I'm excited about this because this is one of the okay. So like when we talk to people at conventions, and we like start going into like deep lore, this is the stuff that I think most people are really intrigued by in terms of how we use Flowstones for
magic.
I
think this corruption magics, you know, the things that make the world relatively unique versus, right, this Fusiliers versus just having black powder firearms, that kind of stuff. So this is page 30, and this is where we begin talking about Flowstones. Flowstones are creations of the Woe of Ruin. These are magical gems that were formed during the Cataclysm, and each one carries some semblance of magical imbuement. Though most are fairly impotent in terms of their power, more rare varieties of Flowstones can embody substantial Zyanthusic energies. Harnessing those energies, however, can only be done by those who have mastered the ability to cut the Flowstones with facets that allow the magics within them to be used without serious and potential deadly consequences. All right, so this is what you must understand about Flowstones and why we created them this way. First and foremost, most of the Flowstones that are found are so flawed that they cannot be really used to make usable Flowstone gems, right? These cut in facets. So that's very important that you remember that. Secondly, well, maybe I should back up. So Flowstones are this somehow creation, right? And again, this is the tales of Zyathé that underpin the whole thing, right? So we have this wonderful creation. They didn't exist. Then we have the God's War and all of the things that happened in Avova, right? emerging with the Zyanthuus, entrapping the four lords of corruption in the Neverplace, and all of this stuff. And then we have the Woe of Ruin, which is when Zyanthuus casts this horrific 12th level spell, not 12th level casting, what we call casts, right? Casts this 12th level spell called the Unmaking. In fairness to Zyanthuus, he was deceived, but it doesn't matter. It was a terrible, horrible thing that he did in any case, causing the Woe of Ruin, causing the collapse of the high magics, causing all of the corruption that is in the world as the Netherflow seeped into the Everflow, all of this stuff that happened, right? And of course, somehow, in this cataclysm, these marvelous, interesting power gems of power, crystalline structures that imbued with magic, appeared. But there is much more to the tale than we have even written yet, I promise. So anyway, so these gems are created, and interestingly, over time, over the first few hundred years, the Sarth realize that they are not affected if they are of pure blood, if they have not had another race intermingle in their ancestry. If they are of pure blood, they are not affected by the toxicity of these flowstones. And so they begin to wonder and experiment to figure out if there's a way that they can be used. And lo and behold, they figure it out. And thus the beginning is the flowcasters. So because the Sarth were for many, many, many centuries, quite a number of centuries, they were not many, 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 but quite a number of centuries, they were diminished because they were if they were of pure blood, they couldn't use arcane magic at all. They could have blessing of spells bestowed upon them, like clerics and holy warriors and those kinds of things, right? But they could not channel the Zyanthuus, either through formulae, as magists do, or through natural things like sorcery, all right? So flow casting got them back on a level playing field. That was the idea, right? And so they would make these flow staves, and they would channel the Zyanthuus through those flow staves using the flowstones that were embodied therein, and thus flowcasters were born. So the flowstones are very, very important in Zyathic lore. And really have many, as I mentioned earlier, many more tales to tell. Did you have a question, Camera Medi, or are there questions in the chat real quick?
No, I think we're all just listening. I mean, I have lots of comments, but so, I'm curious. You keep going, and then I'll say some
yes, and if you have a question, do pop it in there. Camera Medi will interrupt me. We'll go.
Oh, here's Belinda just came with a comment, which I have not read.
Belinda, she's going to be one of the bards of Zyathé, yes?
Yeah, and Belinda has been one of the biggest advocates for this book club, and we appreciate you, Belinda.
Yes, thank you, Belinda.
Okay, so flow sickness, vile mind, mutus. Do we have anything that goes over these illnesses and the differences of symptoms?
Yes.
Like what makes them different from one another, and why are there different kinds?
Magica goes into this much more deeply than what is in the Cyclopedia Zyathica Volume 1. The Weirded World, right? So Magica has a whole section that goes much deeper into Flowstone. So if you have that yet, Belinda, check it out. You would only have the digital copy, obviously, at this point, because we still haven't published. But we are working on getting them printed. We're just going to make these last typographical changes that need to be adjusted, right? And then we're going to the print. One of the reasons why we released it digitally ahead of time, and we're probably going to do this with everything we do going forward, is just because some people, they get into it, they want to read it, they check it out, and they find something, and we can fix it before we actually go to a printed process.
You know what I find really funny? Magica is spelled differently in this book than it is in
I know, but that was a decision. That was a decision that we made afterwards, that we really wanted it to be Magicka, not Magica. So it is okay. It is, you know.
At one point, we'll reprint the books with the correct thing, and then all of your books that have it wrong
collectible
are going to be collectible in 40 years.
Yes, far after I have become dust. Yes, ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
You got another 40 years in you.
I hope so. Yeah,
okay.
I certainly hope at least another decade or so, decade and a half, that we can work with all of these marvelous people on continuing this path.
You got so morbid there for a second.
So, no, it's not morbid.
You're going to be working well into your 90s.
Well, we will see. Listen, so there are 4, right? Okay, so this is important. Yes. There are 8 types of flowstones, and you can see this on page 30.
Oh, wrong page.
There are the clear or white ones, which are called alabastrine, and they are associated with abjuration magics. There are the red, which is refrescent, which are associated with evocation magics. There are the yellow, which are associated with Zyanthuus, which are associated with divination. Blue, which is cerulean, enchantment. Orange, Taitian, which is transmutation. Purple, which is heliotrope, which is necromancy. Green, Verdian, which is conjuration, and pink, roseate, which is illusion. So those are basically the 4 basic types. Now, on top
this is
of
my
that,
this is my new way of doing graphics, so I don't have time to pull them ahead of time.
Yes, look at you marking up your book.
Well, yes. Well, this. I know it's sacrilege, but whatever.
Now, it's important. On the next page, on 31, there are also 4. This is kind of freaky. There are 4.
Oh, and Linda points out that there's actually like a graphic of the.
Oh, yes, there it is. That's exactly right. That is actually on page 34 if you want to look at that.
39.
34. Or you got the.
Wait, I'm on. Yeah, it is on page 34.
Yeah, 34.
Okay.
So you can look at the graphic there, and also you'll learn. So let's do this real quick. So this on 32 they talk about the annihilation stone, which is AJ and I had a discussion about this, about being crazy. Artramentos, which is annihilation. The sludge brown, which is pasios, which is chaos. The ash gray, which is Cenariel, which is Nuul, right? And then the rotten pale yellow green, which is Chlorus, which is the warp. And these are stones that are out there, and they are very unusual. And there is even one more. The Netherstone, which is sort of a combination of all of these things, which is not even mentioned here. These will be dealt with more deeply in the next round of Magicka, which we were originally going to talk about Corruptica, but there's so many other things we want to put in there that we didn't put into Magicka 1 that we want to put into Magicka 2. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, as you progress through chapter 31 and 32, you will learn about flowstone damage from cutting or striking by a non-Sarth. And then as you continue on in the book, then you read about the magic of flowstones. You'll understand that there are actually there are combination flowstones, prismatic and chromatic stones that combine multiple attributes of the 8. And it's really magnificent. And we may actually, as we progress with the magical thing, there's some things that yours truly wants to bring to magic in Zyathé, and it may progress beyond the 8 casts. We'll see what happens as we continue down the path. So that there may be the discovery of other flowstone colors. We'll see how that goes.
So I'm actually kind of curious to ask our audience: has anyone had a player get very deep into flowstones in terms of even? I'd be very curious to hear personal stories of how they use flowstones. I like, as I was reading flowstones, there's in this chart on table 2-1, flowstone damage from cutting or striking by non-Sarth. So I was interested to see if any player would actually take the risk of cutting their own stone, given how it can damage your character and even their potential to do magic in the future. Like, is it really worth the risk, or would they find an NPC character? Would they find a Sarth to cut it? And I was just curious to see if anyone's actually done that.
So if anybody's done that, or other observations about flowstones, right? Because your thoughts help us, right, as we continue down the path, right, of all of this stuff. But this is just barely scratches the surface of flowstones, Cameramandi. There's so many wonderful things in Magicka that are going to just astound you. I think it is really delves much more deeply, gets more into them, helps you understand how the creation of flow cores happened and what flow cores are and why they're 2 different types, right? How fusels evolved, and fusels are just magnificent. I love the idea of gunslinging spell slingers, right? This is this whole idea, right? So their firearms don't shoot projectile weapons, they shoot magic, right? So this is really very cool, and everyone can use a fusel, but only fusiliers can really take advantage of their extra powers, right? But if you wanted to choose to be a warrior that instead of carrying a bow or a crossbow or a sling or a shot or whatever, right, you could carry a fusel, right, and use that as your missile weapon. And so this was the idea, that we could do that. It's just the fusiliers get the extra bonus, right? But of course, flowstones gave rise to all of these things, gave rise to fusels, gave rise to technic machinations and how they're powered and all of that stuff. And all of this is outlined in Magicka much more deeply than here.
Well, I have a comment from Astic
Yes.
My Fusilier had a lot of questions, but shied away from doing anything with them based on the lore. They're mostly interested in getting them supplied as they continue through the campaign.
Yes.
And I will say, like, as someone, I don't do a lot of magic users myself, but this is something that my husband, Adam, would like totally sink his teeth into. Because it takes kind of that, I feel like it kind of takes an analytical mind to...
Well, and also the part of the challenge, right, of playing any kind of a magical using class, especially one that utilizes any kind of material components, right, is the replenishment, right? This is part of the adventure, right? And so what happens is you find a Fusil core, right, and you're a Fusilier, and you're so excited because you actually found something that augments, right? Or you find you're not a Fusilier, you're just a warrior out there, and you happen upon a Flowstone that actually augments your armor, right? And you can actually embed it in your armor, and it actually gives additional powers to your armor. So this is what's really, really exciting about Flowstones is they add this other dynamic. We still have enchanting in the world of Zyathé, and enchantments work, right? But you can even augment enchanted items with Flowstones. So this is magnificent, right? It's just wonderful.
To follow up on that, though, Astic says, we actually aren't sure how rare Flowstone cores ought to be.
Whatever you want for your table. So I really want to say this. This is a thing that is just the truth of the game. And it goes down to level balancing and all of this kind of stuff. And if you've ever been with me at a convention and we actually had a more extensive conversation, or if you've hung around with me enough, or if you've probably watched a lot of these shows, I might have said this before, there is simply no way to really balance a party of 3 inexperienced players who are in a low magic campaign with a party of 6 experienced players who are in a relatively high magic campaign, and say they're all 3rd level. There's no way to balance at 3rd level, because those experienced players who have a lot of magic are going to chew through encounters like crazy, right? In fact, we just had this discussion, did we not, with your father, Cameron Mandy, right? Because Larry is a dear friend of mine. We've known each other since we were in our 20s, early 20s. And we gamed together for a long time, and we're gaming again now that COVID is all done. You know, he's an old man, he's a geezer, right? So he's got to always be careful around COVID, right?
Oh,
wait a minute, so am I. Yes, I guess we both need to be careful around this kind of crap, right? We don't get sick and, we have something terrible happen, right? So we did not game for a long time. Part of that was also Gooey Cube, but part of that was just being safe, right? That was our goal. So anyway, Larry, in this time frame, because he has, a lot of people hung out with their family during the COVID time. That was mostly who they saw. Your dad began gaming, right, as a game master for the first time ever, right, Cameron Mendy?
Absolutely. He game mastered, because we had a different game master for Darkest Dream and Phallus of Spirits, and then he picked up game mastering Coldest of Blood, and we just finished Dreadmas Curse this last Tuesday.
And you loved it, yes? It was magnificent.
Oh, I absolutely loved Dreadmas Curse. I thought it was excellent. I genuinely believe that this can be adapted for a totally different haunted house campaign.
Oh, no question. In fact, that's what we need.
It was so good.
Mandy, you're so right, right? You're so right. Because we need to do that. We need to have chapters 1, 2, and 3 be able to be self-contained, and then if a game master wants to take the players after chapter 3 and go in an entirely different direction, they could do so. Chapter 4 and 5 be relatively self-contained, and then chapter 6 I think will be able to be standalone, as well as chapter 7. All right. So that we're gonna change some language. We don't have to do a whole lot of changes to be able to make that happen for people. But we're going to do that because it also makes it a little less daunting for people to think, oh my gosh, do I have to buy all these chapters, right?
Plus, some people just want to get to the Carnival. Some people just want to get a haunted house. Like, there's different flavors for different... But all that to say, though, as a first-time GM, my dad had overpowered us with...
Monty Hall.
You
have to be old to know what Monty Hall is, right? It's giving away loot like crazy.
Yeah,
right?
like Neftalia has an oath bow.
An oath bow.
At level 3.
Really? Larry.
I have some awesome stuff. I have a lightsaber, basically, like it's a sunblade.
3rd level characters doing, warriors doing 40-some points of damage on not really a massive hit, right? Just kind of a normal hit. This is insane. Larry, You need to come back to Game Master School with your friend. Be a little more of a tightwad. Yes. And part of the reason why I do that, just so everybody knows, is because it does make it more special when you get something that's special, right? If you're just giving out special stuff all the time, then special stuff, then how, it's kind of like, how many, you take.
Well, now you have so many that it's like, what do I even choose for this encounter? And yes,
you need Zix Gramus's wand caddy, right? That is a spell, yes?
Yeah.
No, you're right, cameraman. Keep going.
Anyway, but I think that there's like ways that you could use Flowstones. Like one thing I wrote above where you said that some gems may not be perfect or may not, they only may have a certain amount of spells in them.
Yes.
I said it would be really interesting for like a lower level character to get a faulty weapon that like could do incredible damage if they roll correctly, or it could.
Or it could go against them.
Yeah, exactly. And like that might be like a really fun thing. Like if your character can't afford like the best fusel in the campaign, but they still want to try something, like getting a fusel that has a core that's a little bit faulty might be something really interesting for them to sink their teeth into.
Yes. Now, Astrogarn, I'm going to finish answering your question.
Oh, that's a good point.
Right?
Pam says like Ron Weasley's broken wand. Exactly.
Yes, Ron Weasley was just magnificent. Hello, Pam. Good to see you, my friend. Loved your costume. By the way, the costume contest is still going on. Don't worry, Astrogarn, I'm coming back. The costume contest is still going on. Take your pictures, post them up. It doesn't need to be a current costume. You can put up other ones. And we're giving away a cool thing. And I don't remember what it was, but cameraman's got this.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, I drew our first winner.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not do that yet. I want to answer Astrogarn's
Go ahead.
question.
Okay.
All right. So, as I said, there's no way to balance those two circumstances. There's no way. In fact, Larry called me on the phone. He says they're kind of munching on, Chapter 4's encounters. And I said, really? Then obviously you haven't adjusted the encounters enough. He says, well, I got them at the highest level. I said, really? Then you have given away loot like you were a slot machine on tilt, right? So.
Well, we're throwing some shade. Just to be clear, he's doing very well as the first time. But yes, I feel you.
Yes. My father. I love your dad dearly.
Yes.
He's a wonderful man.
But agreed.
And so what I said to him, as I said, you can't be bound by what's in the book. Mm-hmm. I want to tell you this, my friends. It's a game master. The rules are guidelines. The things that are in the book are guidelines. Your job, and I keep saying this, your job is really to not have your party wipe. Your job is to make a challenging and wonderful adventure for them that hopefully doesn't wipe them. Because if you look at statistics, over time, every party will wipe. If you're playing it RAW, every party will wipe with statistics over time. There's no way not to. You're in the casino. The players have only one character. They have only a certain defined number of hit points. And so your job is to bring them a wonderful and satisfying and kind of scary at times. And you know what? Sometimes that means a character is going to die, and you need to be okay with that, right? And if the players are playing right, this can be a very moving and wonderful time, right? Especially if they're going to attach to that character. There's other things you can do if they do die to maybe bring them back in the future. We had a wonderful character named Gerg the Strong who literally sacrificed himself to save the rest of the party, and he did completely. And also Mike did the same, right? I told you about that story. And these can be wonderful parts of the overall tale that you're telling with your players, right? And so what I encourage you to do is to not be bound by necessarily sort of this is the way it is, right? In my adventure, fusel cores are going to be relatively rare at the higher levels. At the lower levels, right, they're being made by the Sarth. The Sarth want to make money. They want to sell them, right, that kind of stuff. So it's not going to be impossible for a first or second level fusilier to get a decent core that's going to work in their fusel so that they aren't running around not being able to engage, right? Because this is the idea. If you can buy arrows everywhere, you should be able to at least be able to buy lower level cores, right, to be able to do that. So now you start getting up there. You start getting some of these special cores that are noted in Magicka. You wait, yes? That might be a little difficult, right? That might even be a quest to get something like that. So this is the way I would play it. But others, right, they want to be more, loot gifting, like Larry, right? Larry's been really, really interested in doing that. And I feel like I'm not super tight. I'm a little tight. But I've actually met game masters who are far more tight than I am, right? I sort of strike that middle ground. I like rewarding players, but I don't want them to get overly looted so that really when they find something special, it is special. That makes sense?
Absolutely. And we're at 11 o'clock, so this is probably a good time to end this discussion.
I just got to do a quick Kickstarter update, and I'm going to do that. And then we got to do the Camera Mandy Queen of the Hatters giveaway.
Let me announce the winner of the...
do it.
It is CS Mini Painting.
Christopher, congratulations, my friend.
I swear to God, I know he gets picked a lot, but it's all Moobot. I don't do anything.
Well, it just happens, right? How many people we got watching? 50 or so, something like 40,
yeah.
50? Yeah. So you really, this is one of the best giveaway opportunities you ever have because, hey, Chris, you got to check out Magica, man.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
And we absolutely love Chris and appreciate all the, and just to be clear, Chris also wins a lot because he joins us almost every single week.
Yep. And Chris also, just so you know, Chris is one of the painters who was painting some of Harry's minis, and he's a wonderful painter.
So talented, and we absolutely, and I mean, gosh, there are so many people in this community that we really appreciate.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna do really quickly the next giveaway.
Well, let's put it up, and then I can get it. Okay, so
I was just going to drop from the same entry.
Hashtag, what are you doing? Hashtag what?
Oh, I was just going to drop from the same. So.
No.
Okay. I have to go.
Hashtag queen or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'll say
don't
hashtag.
Put them in yet because she's got to set it up.
Yes.
So she's got to set it up. So I'll tell you, or Camera Mandy will tell you when we're doing that. In the meantime, I want to do a quick Kickstarter update. So let me tell you where we are. So you already know Magica is getting ready to be printed here very, very soon, as is Witch's Wrath, which I think we actually got delivery of those. All of you who've been waiting on a Shadows
we don't have Witch's Wrath.
Okay, I know it's coming because I talked to Alex, right? And then
it's hashtag Hatters with a lowercase h.
Why do you have to change it to Hatters, right, instead of Queen? Right? Because everybody's all ready to do
the Queen thing, right? Makes me a little uncomfortable.
Hashtag Hatters, capital H.
Okay.
Hashtag Hatters, capital H.
Okay.
H-A-T-T-E-R-S.
Well, it's not uncapitalized H. Lowercase
Camera
h.
Mandy, can't we just do it with some kind of nomenclature that's consistent all the time?
I know, but then everyone kept doing lowercase which, so I thought, okay, I'll just do it lowercase from now on.
Hashtag lowercase Hatters, all lowercase. Hashtag Hatters, all lowercase. And that's what we're going to do from now on. Everything's going to be lowercase, Camera Mandy. Okay, this is good.
Oh, that's interesting. Damien says both should work if it's lowercase.
Oh, I didn't know that about Moobot.
I didn't even know why
it's called Moobot, but I think it's kind of cool. Moobot. Anyway, so we are now progressing towards chapter 5. I actually have the adventure book, and I'm working on that, working through it a little bit as an editor right now. The Game Master reference book is nearly completed. AJ's been working feverishly on all of this stuff, and we've had marvelous help from others. Kevin helped with this. There's been wonderful helps from our community. So we are getting ready to lay out the Game Master. Well, actually, the Game Master reference is halfway laid out. We're laying out the back half of it now. The adventure book is totally laid out. All of the artworks are set, all of them, and there are a lot of them. It is fantastic, right? It is just, you're going to be blown away. It's this dungeon adventure, and it is wonderful, and it goes back to the roots at my home. So you're going to be just love this.
Having read or finished chapter 4 this week, I am so psyched for chapter 5 because it immediately leads into what's going to happen in chapter 5.
So did you like Jim's little end there with the allusion to a certain movie? I don't want to give a spoiler away, but did your dad play that? He might not have played it.
I did not catch that, no.
Okay. All right. Well.
I'm curious now. I'll go back and read it.
I'm going to have to ask your father when he comes over today because we're playing. I'm going to take some pictures. The dungeon is magnificent. Yes, that they're going into. Anyway, so now we are beginning to work on the Dead and Fallow and the Glooming Doom. Those are the 2 side quest adventures that we have. And then we are, I forgot Legends, Lore, and Libations. Legends, Lore, and Libations, which Marvelous Keith worked on and Kerry edited well, and the team is putting it together, and Hannah's been great on that. And we are putting all of this together, and it is a magnificent travel tome that is perfect for players, right? For them to be able to learn about the Republic of Zyanthuus. So that is nearly done. And that is leaving us, once we get through the Dead and Fallow and the Glooming Doom, that is leaving us with almost nothing except for the Gloomport and Darkenhaven. We have almost done it, my friends, and it is exciting to be almost there. Mm-hmm. So that. Thank you all for your marvelous support. I hope that our extra shipping and the incredible additional materials that nobody expected, 150 extra pages and materials, box sets that are poking out of the roof of the box, I hope that all of this makes up for our lateness. I wish we were not tardy, but there was a lot of extenuating circumstances, as you all know, with this crazy COVID stuff. And frankly, I probably overpromised, right? Probably should have been at least an 18-month delivery cycle for all of it.
We're still learning. We're new to this.
We don't know what the heck we're doing. That's the truth. Yeah, right. You don't have a clue, right? So anyway, my friends, thank you for all of your support. Please check out Magica. If you haven't gotten your email, let us know. We'll do that. If you have a little spare cash and you can buy the bundle, I encourage you to do so. If you got one of them and can't get the other, I encourage you to do so to get that little Dark Tides Night supplement that's never been printed before and may not be ever printed again. Once we run out of them, we're done. Anyway, my friends, you are magnificent. Camera Mandy, we got to announce the winner.
I have it. It is
Chris Hood. Oh, yes.
No, it is Itminan. Itminan.
Itminan.
It's hard to say.
What, have we ever given one to Itminan
No,
before?
I don't think so. Congratulations.
A new winner.
Make sure that you sign up at
gooeycube.com/prizes. Make sure you go to there and sign up, right? Because if you don't do that, we don't know who the heck you are, and it's really, really difficult to fulfill. All right, my friends, you are magnificent. Thank you. Wish me luck today. I got to Game Master. I'm so excited. Camera Mandy's going to, what are you going to, Camera Mandy?
Pumpkin Patch with the twins.
Pumpkin Patch with the little kids. Yes.
The little nieces.
Yes. Looking marvelous, Camera Mandy, as I noted earlier.
We'll take a picture of the full hat before we leave.
Yes, that's quite a hat. Yes, it's magnificent. All right, so Itmanin, you win the signed copy of the probably never to ever be published Queen of the Hatters adventure cover.
We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. Maybe I'll write it myself, and you'll have to
Mandy, maybe we'll collaborate on it. Yes, it might be fun. We'll see. But this is also what I want to do, right? I want to bring more of the characters, not just Camera Mandy, right? But look in Magica. I think, what is it, 19 essays, Camera Mandy, from our community, right?
It is phenomenal to see how full our books are.
Anthony is in there, and Keith is in there, and Jim is in there, all as their characters, right? Zyggramus with our marvelous Rob. I mean, Zoldathran Vildreen, yes. Oh, yes, and Kalnavik makes another appearance. This is magnificent, right? So this is just wonderful, So I hope to continue on this. I'm working on a series of portraits right now, which are going to be magnificent. And I've got some other people who are talking to me about trying to do portraits of characters to have them in Zyathé. I hope you will pursue that if you got a little extra cash. But do what you can do. Obviously, never put yourself in financial hardship. Don't forget, Genghis Khan is coming up in February. Lots of gooey people coming, right? And more keep coming, right? So it's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be a party. A gooey party.
Yes, in fact, we have a party on Thursday night.
And we have one on Wednesday night.
There. Well, that's a secret gooey party.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not a secret.
Secret.
All of you who come in early, we might do something little on Wednesday night. So it's not. Now it's only a secret for the people who are not in the Goo Morning Zyathé thing, right? So anyway, Thursday night though, we have the gooey party in the room that we did last year, right after the Great Gooey Dungeon Game Show that we will be running from Genghis Khan and streaming. And you'll have lots of chances to win prizes even if you're not at Genghis Khan. And it's in the evening, so it only destroys our friends in Europe. It doesn't destroy people on the West Coast.
Anyway.
I appreciate you all in Europe. Thank you all for watching us, and apologize for having to do that so late for you.
This is a very long wrap-up.
I'm wrapping up. Camera Mandy, say it.
May all your adventures...
Well done. Be spooky. Ha ha!